Kostya's already proven himself an enemy of Solace. Whatever you choose to do with him after we stop him is fine with me.
Sluice gates ahead. Let's find Kostya, fast.
Lava's rising. We have to stop this now.
Good. You're here. Help me destroy this witch. We can't risk someone turning it and opening the gates. If the keep falls so that we might live, so be it. I'm doing the only thing that matters. I'm saving my people, Envoy. With your help, or without it. Me, specifically? No. I only provided them access to material from the living archives. The books and records that the novice brought to them were what revealed the secret. I assume you didn't let the Steel-Garrote or the Inquisitor survive their search. Bloodthirsty. You people just can't help yourselves. Fuck the keep! So long as the keep stands, my people are trapped here. Doomed by an oath to a dead man.
No one should be bound to a pile of stones. Certainly not because of a centuries-old oath.
Our people were nomads for ages until we built the keep. When it falls, we'll be free to explore the world again. I will not watch my people rot here for the sake of a pointless oath.
He has a point, but it's not worth letting Solace fall to prove it.
You, of all people, are speaking in favor of the suffocating grasp of tradition.
I'm talking about not destroying our ancestral home just because you don't like Nandru. You're just as blinded by those traditions as Mihala. Have the courage to leave if you want, but don't force everyone else to.
Finally! Proof she's got a spine! Well, Envoy, now's your chance. Are you going to be a good little minion and do as she asked? Or will you let me save my people from themselves? Nandru isn't here! He was never here! He built us a tomb and abandoned us to it. Do not speak his name to me as if it could mean anything to you.
A life for rubble, blood for the prison of old ways. We twine.
Stand down, Kostya. This just isn't your day.
So be it. And you are so close. The entrance to the garden is just beyond this door. I always knew it would come to this.
a moment, people.
We'd never be able to drag Yardsley out of here.
He was just a man. I think I need to talk about this if you have a moment. It's done. Solace is safe. Thank the gods.
Well, that's that.
Never thought I'd be so glad to see those blessed walls.
I feel crazy saying this, but Kostya was right. We should have let Solace keep fall.
Crazy is one word for it. You really think you can just burn down someone's ancestral home?
Dearie, the keep isn't a home. It's a prison. And now the Bargrunen will never escape.
Solace is my home. I still don't get why any of you feel like you have a say in this.
But you left.
Because I chose to. Kostya doesn't get to make that decision for everybody.
If Kostya doesn't, Mihala will.
Civilization, as we know it, hasn't existed in the living lands for very long. We need to preserve what history we have.
Darling, you know I hate to think of losing all of that history more than anyone. But think of what they could have gained. Maxim left the Republics, and it allowed Animancers in Fjord to thrive.
Destroying our home is not starting something new.
You really think everyone in Solace is there willingly? Amalia and her people took up arms and turned to banditry, and they still weren't allowed to leave. If anything, I imagine Mihala and her traditionalists will only make it harder to leave now. You know your own mind. There's something to be said for that.
True. And you've a date with the gods soon. We can only hope that you'll make better decisions.
Enough talking in circles. Let's save our strength for the garden. I, for one, could use a long rest. And I'm betting the envoy could, too.
I know, I'm excited too, dearie. But we need our beauty sleep, don't we?
After all this time, finally returned. Returning home. How you doing? Doing wise.
I'm holding on. Got pretty intense back there. It does feel good knowing Razvan isn't still.
again.
Wait.
We're alive! We're alive!
I still can't believe that sucker.
What happened to Deeren? Is everyone all right?
Goes that far.
I even considered supporting them.
I always knew Kostya was scum. This is too much, even for him. May he find no rest in death.
It doesn't matter. An oath is an oath. I swore it, and so did my people. Tell me about the keep instead.
Thank you. I cannot explain how afraid I was for my people and our home.
Perhaps so. Either way, I understand now the nature of my errors. It will not happen again. Here. I once was this artifact's custodian, but I failed in protecting the keep. This belongs to one who has proven capable of guarding my people. I wish so much that things had gone differently.
Nihala is to blame. We need to open our gates to the world, lest it leave us behind. Absolutely. Or positive goods that pass through paradise.
Closer. We have waited so long.
Well, this is it, I guess. Feels very different from the last time I left Galawain's tusks. I will say, it's nice to look out and see Solace still standing. Thanks for that. Right. It's better that an Adiran envoy do it.
Solace is still standing. And so are you. We're in this together.
Just so you know, Kai, it's starting to sound like you like me.
If you happen to need a reminder, do let us know. Brooding in silence can be quite the mood killer.
Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fior, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
At least on the battlefield, you can count on getting stabbed in the front.
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear ya. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown, a land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
Can you imagine? An untouched spiritual wilderness just waiting for us. I have a theory about the garden, or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams, their nightmares, their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind.
Sanity won't get us through the garden. Madness opens the mind to discovery. So madness is what we need right now. Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to kill Sapadal. Is that still the plan? For once, I'm all out of ideas. Anyone else?
I'm a soldier. I prefer leaving these decisions to people like you, but if you're asking for input, I don't entirely disagree with Ludwig on this. She may be a monster, but she's not the only one the Living Lands has seen.
Pain. I don't think I can forgive that. Especially after seeing Iancu. I just can't let that go.
Think of what we could learn from Sapadal. Perhaps there's a way we can keep everyone alive.
Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the Living Lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in.
It's easier that way. For a while.
Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
There's a whole lot of exactly what I expected, honestly. Envoy, you're probably here to see how I'm doing, yeah? Well, I'm doing great. I always knew my home would destroy itself from within. I just never thought I'd get a chance to stop it. Right. If you get any more sappy, I'll think you've turned into a tree. But enough of that. You have a lot to do, and I'm right behind you. I thought I'd feel different after dealing with Razvan. Somehow more at peace. There was this threat I didn't even know I was afraid of, and now it's gone. So why doesn't it all feel better now? Right. It's just... I've spent so long being terrified of... what? I still feel like I don't know. Been dealing with this all my life. Someone starts acting strange, then clearly something terrible's about to happen. My people were in a cult. They believed what Razvan said. They died because he asked them to. But he wasn't behind every corner. He was stuck in a cave, babbling in mushrooms. Seems to be. Yes. I appreciate what you've done to help me. I won't forget it. Anyway. Let's make sure they're not listening. Who do you want to talk about? Giada's a mystery to me. Animancers give me the Vrikas, and for good reason. Most of them would just as soon turn your soul into jewelry as look at you. Giada seems different. She's smart, thoughtful, and she's got a spine, too. You can tell when someone needs extra help out here, and she doesn't. So, yeah, I don't understand her, but I guess I don't have to, really. Until next time.
Do you know anyone from the Handa cult?
I know a lot of people, and just as many secrets.
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the Living Lands, where it all began. and where it all ends. For so long, I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious? I suppose you're right. I'm frightened, I'm excited. I'm a lot of things right now. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. I almost turned my back on animancy. And if I'm being honest, it was a relief. But now that we're here, who am I to reject my upbringing, my potential? My parents were going to build a better world for animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did, to an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. When you say it, I can almost believe it. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Okay. But if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city. Once upon a time, a young girl left town to fetch water from the local well. After pulling up the rope, she discovered the head of a Delimgan, one of the tree folk, staring at her from the bucket. "Return me to my grove," it said, "and I will grant you 3 wishes." So she carried the head into a peaceful clearing and sat it down on a tree stump. First, she wished for long life. The head granted her wish. Second, she wished to be impervious to a sword blade. Granted. And finally, she wished to know what happens after we die. No one ever saw her again. All they found was an Adra pillar in the middle of a clearing, next to an old stump. I heard it as a child. Took me years before I would fetch water again. Who could rest at a time like this?